So we recently posted a video on our YouTube channel about the exhumation process of a body here in Australia. And as it happens, when you put up some weird content, you end up getting some weird messages from some very weird people. Now, this particular person, and I know he's a bloke and I know he's not from Australia because my analytics told me, and one guessed from listening to this message of where he's from, and he says, I have the right to dig up my mother whenever I like. I do not need permission, and laws like this are why Australia is communist. Now, I didn't reply with a reference to Ed Gein because I didn't think he'd get the reference, but it's certainly there. Now, let's think through how this would go because I don't think Tough Guy really thought it through. Now, I think he's going to barrage through the cemetery gates in the middle of the night in his pickup truck, roll up to the grave. Him and three mates are going to jump out with shovels and start digging. Now, here in Australia, the top of the casket has to be under 4 feet of soil. So they're going to have to dig not only 4 feet down, but the entire sort of surface area of the casket. Now, they're also going to have to dig around the casket. Now, here in Australia, we are quite fans of the multi-level graves, so I really hope that Mum was at the top of the pile, but let's assume she was and you've managed to do it. Generally, with an exhumation, you would use machinery, but him, not a big brain, didn't really think that through. So all of him and his mates are going to have to jump into the grave and try and lift this casket out somehow. Don't know how you're going to do that, but anyway, how long has that casket been down there? Because here in Australia, we don't use burial vaults or burial liners, so that wooden casket has gone straight into the soil. Guess what happens when you put wood into soil? It starts to fall apart quite quickly. I'm guessing you didn't think about that. Now, if it's been over 10 years, it's probably not a problem. Your mother is skeletonized, and that's a good thing because you can pull her out bone by bone. But if it's been less than that, she's probably more in like a stew sludge form. So I hope you brought some buckets along because you're going to need to start scooping her out. Now, I don't know how much you paid your mates for this, but I'm assuming it's probably not enough to cover that. But let's assume that they hang around. You scoop out your mum, put her in the back of the truck. Are you taking that headstone with you? Because again, this is probably another thing you didn't think of. I'm assuming you're going to bury her, but then again, Ed Gein, like you might be keeping her in your house. Maybe you don't need that. If you do decide to take that, I would suggest you probably come back with a bit of machinery to do that because I know in your country, you don't have a good healthcare system. You break your back, well, that's shit out of luck for you. So, moral of the story, don't be digging up your mother illegally. 2, don't be doing it in a country where you don't have a good healthcare system to cover the fact that you will probably break a few bones after falling in the grave and then trying to remove the headstone. And 3, keep your nose out of other countries' laws. That would be fantastic. Okay, bye.